Unlearning who you think you need to be will be the best thing you'll ever do to yourself. This might sound crazy, but we are so conditioned to being something from external sources that almost everyone have lost themselves to this agenda. And I know that some people get triggered. They're like, no, I have to stay true to my parents. I have to stay true to my identity, to who I am. That's fine. But there are a lot of people out there who actually don't feel that they are doing what they're supposed to do. The whole personal development industry is based on you need to learn more, you need to do more, but not many are talking about removing the old identity. And I think this goes more into the esoteric concepts. And there's a really good book by Joe Dispenza that talks about this, breaking the habit of being yourself. That's kind of the core of this. You have to dare to break your own illusion, the old identity that you've created for yourself. You need to be this way, you need to live here, you need to work with this, blah, blah, blah. You don't. But it takes a lot of courage to actually start following what is calling on the inside. Most of us, me included a few years ago, couldn't sit still even 10 minutes with my own thoughts, because that brings up anxiety and it's scary and it's like, whoa, no, I don't want this. I want this external thing. I just want this thing, because your mind creates this illusion that when you get this thing, then it can quiet down. But what you actually want with that thing is a certain feeling. And when you realize that, wow, you're actually after a certain feeling, a sensation, you realize that maybe that path to that thing isn't even gonna give you that feeling. Or if it gives you the feeling, it most probably will only be a short amount of time. And I don't want this to be disencouraging, because, of course, material things are cool and you should also strive for those. The point that I want to make here is that the thing should actually come from the inside. If you're trying to get rich because you want to impress your dad or mom or your friends, is that what you actually want to do? Or do you just want the validation from the external sources that you are cool or you're enough or you're loved? Just saying. These are things you actually need to take time to think about, to actually go inwards and be like, wow. And the more confused you get, the more you're willing to break your old self. So a lot of the times, how people actually change in life is by going through some traumatic event. It may be an external thing like death or some kind of emotional trauma, and then they're like, wow, now I'm ready to change. The whole point with Joe Dispenza's work is to get people to realize that you can start the change now. You don't have to go through this huge suffering to actually start doing the work. I think this is one of the greatest shortcuts that man has realized, that you can start changing yourself just by choice. You don't have to go through this external force that kind of forces you to change. With this video, I just want to kind of bring this idea more into the world, that what if we take out all those external things like politics and society or family or religion? What would you like to do? And when you sit still and you ask yourself this question, what would I actually want to do with my life that I can look back on and be proud when I'm 80 years old and I'm sitting in this chair and I'm like, wow, that was a cool ride. If you never stop and ask yourself this question, the world and other people will put dreams on you. They will put all kinds of expectations and things that you are supposed to do. But are you then truly being yourself? Is it coming from an internal thing that this gives me a sense of purpose? This is what I'm here to do. Or is it just that, oh, I do this because that guy told me that this is a cool thing, and then these things in the media said that this is a really good thing to do at the moment? Are you being the most powerful person if you are following the advice from external sources? I'm just asking. I'm not saying that you have to do anything in a certain way. I'm just asking and questioning the foundation of yourself. Did you build the foundation yourself? And for most of us, we have parents who have had a certain set of beliefs, and our subconscious mind has developed by the surrounding we are in, and the subconscious mind basically has developed from the age of 0 to 7, and that's where our core beliefs are made until you become aware of these subconscious beliefs by which you have lived your life up until now. You will just go on autopilot by those, because that's kind of the internal thing that is guiding you. I don't know if you're familiar with the movie Inside Out, but if you rewatch that movie, you will start to see that these characters that are inside of Riley, the main character, these are the emotions, and the emotions are the ones who create the memories. And then there's the core memories, basically the core beliefs. And that movie is kind of explaining how we humans work. It's a really cool way to visualize, like, wow, okay, that happened. And then there was this core belief that, oh, you're not enough because you didn't manage to pull that one thing off that one time. And now your self-worth is always tied to this external source. There's a sequel to this movie also, Inside Out 2. And I think it's brilliantly made also because it introduces new feelings, and then the kind of internal struggle that there is when Riley grows even bigger. And I guess the whole movie franchise is gonna expand on these topics even more, and we'll see in the future how far it will go. But I believe that it's gonna go into how you actually can rewire your subconscious mind and your whole life and your belief system, because your belief system is determining how you feel, and how you feel is how you act, and then the whole thing is kind of a circle. It's this pattern that repeats itself, but the core beliefs are the ones that is dictating how you act and how you feel, and that will dictate your results and reinforce the beliefs. And that's how our mind is built. But if you don't understand this, and if you've never heard about this, you can start by questioning, are you truly living the life from yourself? And who are you? Because if you have anxiety, if you have this sense of not belonging or no fulfillment, you are probably doing the wrong things. And it's totally fine to change. Who is anyone else to say what kind of life you can live? Yes, there is morals, and there is kind of this ideas of what you should do or what you shouldn't do in terms of harming other people. But if we think about that, you aren't going to harm anyone else, what are you going to do? What do you want to do? What kind of person do you want to be? And when you realize this, what you want to be, then you realize that, wow, you need to unlearn this old way of being. And that can be really difficult. It can have a lot of tension in it. You have to let go of things you like, because those things you like are attached to your old identity, but this new identity has a greater pull. So it's kind of like just being in between of these things. But I know from experience that when I started to follow my path and actually doing things the way I want to do, not pleasing other people, I start to feel better. But on the contrary, I also start to struggle more because it's kind of just, I feel this old world pulling me in, and then it's just like, nope, okay, I have to have this vision into this, what I actually want to do, and how I want to raise my child, how I want my partnership to look like, all these things. But if I'm not willing to let go of the old things, I will not achieve this new thing. So the whole point with this video is that you start questioning yourself and what you actually want to be. What are the things you can start to let go of? Because only by letting go of things, you bring in space to bring in new things. And this is kind of how manifestation also works. There's a lot of people that think that you can just get more and more and more and more and more, but that's just greed. So the real way to do it is to create space. Let go of things. Let go of your old job if you don't like it. Let go of your old partnership if you don't like it. It's totally up to you, and no one else can know. And I know that you get the urge to ask for advice. Should I do this? Should I do that? I would say sit with yourself for long enough that you start to trust yourself, and that's when you will know. That's gonna be it for this rant. I hope you find a spark inside of you that's gonna take you towards the direction you actually want to live in. My name is Mitz, your future purpose, here to help you question yourself so that you can actually find yourself, because that's what the world needs more of. People who love their life. See you in a future video. Peace out.